Hey, so this video is part of a live series I'm doing here on YouTube where I share some of the behind the scenes of growing a multi-six-figure coaching company into a multi-seven, and ideally 8 and 9-figure coaching and consulting agency. So in this video today, I want to go over a question I got from one of you guys who commented on one of my ads. So in this case, what you can see here is, first of all, let's watch the ad so you can get some context, and then we'll go over their question. Anyway, if you want to learn how to generate leads for your service business for just $27, click the link below. All right. So just a quick summary, what we saw was basically a combination of some scrolling interruption, which basically stops people from scrolling. They sometimes don't even recognize that it's an ad because they're used to seeing these type of, crazy, funny videos. And so they stop scrolling, they watch it. I was able to capture their attention, and then I hit them with the offer. So now Alan Hayes' question was, great ad. Would this ad setup work if you only had a budget of $500 a month for ad spend? Does it boil down to needing 10 clicks a day and having a few high intent keywords that are under $1.65 cost per click? $500 monthly budget. Would you say in this situation would this PDF work? So his question is kind of all over the place, and I'll try to answer it to the best of my ability. Let's go over to the iPad so I can basically try to answer Alan and you guys as well. So first of all, Alan confuses, he confuses, let me just watch my screen, two things, which is, let's do this paid ads. And there's two main ways of basically revenue models or ad spend models. The first one is CPC, which stands for cost per click. And this is relevant for Google Ads, and more specifically within Google Ads, it's for search. Because within Google Ads, there's different ways that you can get charged, but with the Google Ads search, you're basically paying cost per click. And the second way the online platforms are able to charge you is based on what's known as CPM, which stands for cost per mile, meaning cost per 1,000 impressions. 1,000 impressions. 1,000 people saw your ads, and now you're paying based on the number of eyeballs who actually saw your ad and not how many people have clicked on your ad. Now, he commented, Alan commented with a question. Let's again put the CPM here. Alan commented on Instagram ad, which is in the CPM sphere. So Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and I want to say also Snapchat are in the CPM world. Here you have Google Ads and LinkedIn are on this side of, there we go, are on this side of the spectrum, okay, on the CPC. So his question was about a CPM, on a CPM platform, but with a cost per click, equation, which doesn't really make sense. Still, I want to see, again, I want to go over again his question and see whether I can figure out if I can help him or not. Great ad. Would this ad setup work if you only have a budget of $500 a month for ad spend? So let's divide it, because he had multiple questions here. Let's divide it, first of all, into the different options. One is, would it work on low budget? Okay, now, would this work on low budget? It depends. Okay, so answer, this is question, answer. Depends. Now, what does it depend on? It depends on A, your creative, right? How well is your idea, your execution, and so on? How captivating is your ad? Do people really love it? Do people engage with it? And so on. So that's question number one. Number two is time frame. Because in my philosophy on ads and in general marketing and lead generation, there's no such thing as, like a losing ad, or, like a marketing that doesn't work. The only thing that might not work or align with you is the time frame. Because on a long enough time span, all of these efforts, all of the marketing, efforts that you're putting out will bear fruit. But sometimes you're looking for something that will convert in a 1 day period, or a 7-day, or 30-day. But in my coaching experience, where I've been running this program for now almost 3.5 years, I see clients who join my program 1 or 2 years after they initially saw my ad. Now, this could be for various reasons, such as it wasn't the right time, they were low on budget, that there was a recession, there's COVID, there's like different things that are macro, okay, and aren't necessarily related to how good your offer, how good everything you're doing, but it just things that are out of your hand. And in these instances, you just need to be patient, and you just need to keep on going. And one of the biggest mistakes advertisers, and especially if you're a business owner now turning into a marketer, which is what I mostly focus on, which is helping service business owners become the best marketers for their business. This shift is very hard because you're putting money into ads and maybe you're not seeing the conversion rates and the results immediately, and you're thinking, oh, I should stop. The stopping part is the biggest hurdle, is the biggest mistake that you can make. Why? Because again, it's not about the first ad, the first time someone interacts with you, with your company, with your brand, but it's about how consistent you are with your message, with who you are, with the type of content you're putting out, until, for whatever reason, and again, it might not be necessarily related to you, but it's more on what's happening in their lives, until they actually decide to join, reach out, book a consultation call, hire you for a project or whatnot. So the time frame is a key factor, which I think people are, not paying as much attention to as they should. But the time frame is a really, really, really important component when you think about ads, whether they're working or not, and so on. Okay? The third thing I would say is the variations. Okay? Now, what I mean by variations, if you're running, let's say you said it was running like a $500 a month, a month. I'm bad with this Apple Pen, but a $500 a month budget, and you're just running it with one ad, well, that's basically a losing strategy, okay? But in my case, I run dozens of ads. So this ad is, it's one option that a potential client, a prospect sees, but then he sees dozens of other options, and maybe it won't convert with this specific ad, but it'll end up, buying one of my low ticket offers, or, getting a Google Ads campaign set up from us for a few $100, or maybe you want to join our flagship program for a few $1,000s. So it's not just putting all your eggs in this one basket, but it's really spreading it and splitting this budget, the $500 a month, into two different parts, where one is for cold audience, okay, people who never heard about you, don't know who you are, what you're doing, and the other thing is for retargeting. And this is, again, something that we put so much effort on in our program and in our coaching material, because what I see after training hundreds of service business owners and reviewing all of their accounts and ad spends throughout the years, is that 95 to 99% of these companies who worked with marketing agencies on building their Facebook ads campaign, they just create this one campaign or even multiple campaigns for cold audience. And this is a big mistake. No, you want to split this budget into the majority of it. Okay, so let's say 80-20. 80% would be for cold, and 10 to 20 percent would be for retargeting. Depends on how big your retargeting audience and the budget is. But this is how you want to split it. Okay, so variations with splitting it up. And within it, again, variations. So that's the third and fourth thing. Another thing is, and this is a little hack that I'm giving you, is how do you, let me make it here. So how do you leverage? Okay, now what do I mean, how do you leverage it? By doing what I just did, right? So this ad, let's say that this ad, let's say it didn't convert, nothing, zero. But I got this question, this comment from him, which now turned into a long form YouTube video, which would be there for life and would gain between few dozens to a few hundreds of views throughout its life. It would go as a clip into my social media. It would go into my newsletter, which we have thousands of people in our newsletter. I'm leveraging it. It would go on a blog post on my website. So another SEO gain, right? So I'm leveraging this. And even if quote unquote, where I'm not saying, but even if quote unquote, you have a losing ad, you can still turn it into a winning ad by thinking, how can you leverage each and everything that you do and document the whole thing out in public? And one of the things that I preach to my, to my students in my program is, and we work mostly with, home service business owners, the roofers, the plumbers, the HVAC, the locksmiths, and so on. It's so easy for you to create content because, especially if you're out on the field, all day you get questions from your clients, so you can answer it on the spot. Okay, what's happening here? You can troubleshoot issues and record it, so you can show what the other, developer, what the other contractor, what some of the mistakes that have been made. And it's very visual. It's much nicer for people to actually see what you're talking about rather than me sitting at home and recording things on a screen. And this is the leverage where if you're not documenting anything and you're just trying to do these cookie cutter ads where they're all perfect, yeah, it's nice. It might resonate with few people, but you can leverage what you're already doing out on the field, out on the job site, into so much more. And this is, this is what we're doing here. So leverage is a key component when it comes to content in general and specifically to ads. Are you leveraging the full potential of the ad or not? Let's go back to his question. Again, as you can see, it was like all over the place. Does it boil down to needing 10 clicks a day and having a few high intent keywords? Again, as we already understand, we are here. We're basically, sorry, I need to keep on changing the view so I can see what you guys are seeing. But we are here where we're getting charged per 1,000 impressions, yet this question is about cost per click, not really relevant, unfortunately. And then would you say in this situation, would this PDF work? Again, I'm not sure about what you mean by it, but if you're trying to understand the logic behind it with this type of PDF, maybe you're a coach and not a home service business owner. At the end of the day, it really depends about the offer. Okay, this should be, 2. So would it work for PDF with $500 a month for me? Let's see if we can make it even bigger. Or is this option? me. I think, yeah, we can see it better. So you need to ask yourself, how strong is your offer? Okay? So how strong is your offer? How many people are interested in what you're trying to sell? Do you know the pain points of your demographics, of your target audience? If so, it could work. If not, it's not. It has nothing to do whether it's $50, $500, or $50,000 a month in ad spend. You need to know, how are you solving your potential client's pain point? And once you have an answer for this, all of these numbers would make sense. Now, for us personally, like these PDFs, this is not something that we really make money off of. This is like break even, maybe even like losing money on the front end. But the whole thing is that you're sending people, and you're gaining their trust in you and your services and in your ability, because you're already showing them how good this $27 PDF is. So they then want to work personally with me, and this is where we're sending them into the into our higher ticket flagship program, which, like I mentioned, is like a few $1,000s to join. So this is basically the logic behind it. I hope I covered everything. Guys, if you have questions that you want me to cover for your service business, for whatever business you're running, if you're a coach like me, or you're a home service business owner like we are focused on, drop them down in the comment section below. If you like this type of content and want to see more videos like this, make sure to hit this like and subscribe to our channel. And if you want to learn more about what we do, check the link below. There's a link for this $27 offer, as well as if you want to learn more on how to work personally with me to help you become the best marketer for your business, and without having to depend on any marketing agencies ever again, saving you tens of thousands of dollars a year, not to mention the ability to make millions in the process with your business. So hope you enjoyed this one. Hope to see you guys here in the next one. And my name is Lior Vaknin, and I'll see you guys here soon. Peace.